Hello everybody, this is going to be a hard video to make and talk about. I wanted to get over this. I'm going to recommend a couple of videos, both positive and negative. Well, I wouldn't say negative, I just feel like the titles look negative and sequel bait. But I'm going to talk about some games in general and such. Where do I start? I feel these videos are very informative and definitely like what I feel about a certain game, and this is what I think about Destiny 2. I've been really analyzing Destiny 2. I did not really like the first Destiny, and I wanted to, but it had me so disinterested and bored. Destiny 2 comes out, and though it is slightly more refined than the first one, it's just the same game, just slightly more fun. And I mean slightly strong, in a strong way. Like, it really is slight. Also, I want to question, like, I have problems with my friends, and I don't want this to happen again, because the first game I lost friends over. And I haven't even bought or played really much of the game other than the beta, and seen what my friends have played, and already I feel like there are some, like, sort of rude remarks coming through from those perspectives, like very subtly rude. So the video, a positive video, is Destiny 2 review by Robert Storms here. You can also watch, I feel Ocean's Flame has a pretty fun and sort of funny Let's Play on Destiny 2 so far. Don't mind Clownface if you're afraid of clowns. I'm going to be doing a review for it soon. I just watched that. I actually watched it before it even released. I just needed time to take it in. And I've been watching a ton of like positive and negative videos just to get everybody's overall opinion on the game. And I've seen 8s and 7s out of 10s for Destiny 2. And I've been really trying to see, like, get everybody's point of view on the game. I feel like there's a problem with Jim Sterling's video because he rated Zelda a 7 out of 10, but he's given Destiny 2, which still has some of the repetitive nature, and I felt like his review wasn't touching on some of that. But I'm going to say I'm disinterested and definitely not going to buy Destiny 2. Not unless it's, like, really low priced. The other video, and believe it or not, this is the video I'm talking about. This is the one that kind of like turned me off. I was like, okay, this is sequel bait. But don't like not letting a cover of a book. Don't judge a book by its cover. This guy is definitely informative and definitely helpful. So this is one that I guess, like, just based on the title is negative, and I guess the guy does really like feel aggressive with what he's talking about, but he's got a lot of really good points. Is B Dobbins FTW. He's got another video which is called Stop Defending Destiny. That's the other one I'm going to recommend. That's it for the sort of more negative videos I think people would be. But yeah, I can't argue much on Destiny. I think these guys are legitimate. Here's a positive video for you, but I feel like is the legitimate rating for Destiny 2 is Destructoid is really like the positive video for you. And it's only 4 minutes. So, yeah. Those are the two videos. For the last video, go to leaderboards. Like, this is just in between getting a knowledge basis up on Destiny 2 and what went into it. And all the facts on it, is watch leaderboards like 107 facts of Destiny 2. But yeah, that's all I have to really recommend. So, I think it is a 7 out of 10, but I don't think Destiny is truly that amazing. And the thing, now, I want you to ask yourself the question, was the story the only problem with the first Destiny? We have a good story, but what's the aftermath after you're done with the story? And was the story the only problem? Me, I'd say no. I had a problem with the repetitiveness, the grind. I'm not that kind of gamer when it comes to it. I have some of those games. I feel like Destiny and Destiny 2 are those games that are that turn your brain off to it kind of game. It doesn't take much effort. There's bad NPCs, like the AI is awful. It takes no effort, and you can skip large amounts of the levels and beat the enemies pretty simply. And the campaign felt too easy too. From what I haven't really played the campaign, but from the beta as well as what I've seen from both my friends and my brother and such, and what I've been watching on Let's Plays and such, and getting their intel to give this kind of thought process, it's just really difficult. I feel like we're to expect games to look good and stuff and feel great nowadays, and like movies to look good. Destiny to me is like Alien Covenant, where it's like it looks great, has great actors and everything, but everything to the core, especially when it ruins a lot of the story and lore, being a prequel, is just has some major flaws, and I feel like the same thing with Destiny 2. And Destiny 2 like feels like a chore. Like Destiny in general is like a chore to get through. I feel like if Bungie truly wants to make their game, they should leave Activision. Just leave them. Find a company that they can trust, that is much better than Activision. I mean, you've got the guys who make COD, piece of trash that it is now, backing it up. And there's microtransactions also in Destiny, and a lot of bad decision making and such. I feel like Destiny in its entirety too, and this goes with Destiny 2 as well, is just I hate the advertisements that go into it that hype it up to looking like the best game ever, when really it's just sort of a average game, or slightly above average, 7, 6 out of 10. It's disappointing, and Destiny 2 doesn't have that same edge to it that Destiny 1 had, where it's a new IP and they can do something truly new with it, but they messed that up. Destiny 2 does not have that, though. So, without that edge, Destiny 2 almost comes across in some ways. I'm not going to say that this is how it actually comes across, but almost looking worse than Destiny 1 just because of those. I've been getting a lot of subtleties with how Destiny, with my friend, and like they're eyeballing the graphics and everything, and I'm like, it's to be expected. A lot of games look good. Who cares? Is graphics really something you should depend on? It's got great music and it looks good, but the other thing, there's nothing to the core of the game that's really amazing. And a game like Destiny 1 and 2 make you appreciate games like Borderlands and Elder Scrolls games, and even Fallout even better, because there's more to their worlds and environments and how they handle them. Destiny is just very empty feeling. It's just like you look in the distance in something like Skyrim, and you can call it gray all you want, but there's something fascinating by how much effort they put into that area you're looking at, and so fascinated by, that when you travel to it, there's actually something fascinating about it. In Destiny, it's like you look in the distance, you see a pretty area, you take a picture, and it's like, okay, there's nothing interesting here, let's move on. It just becomes really average and boring, and there's not much to it. It's a deceiving game. It looks like a deceiving game, and it's kind of sad, and it promotes like bad business practices. These are the kind of games we're going to get now, and I don't want these kind of games. I don't feel like the characters looked all that memorable. Like, I thought Nolan North was really annoying as your ghost. I love Nolan North, but there are actors who can have great roles in bad movies, or just be bad themselves. Not every actor is perfect, not every game is perfect. If I was to rate Destiny 2 from what I've seen, what I've read up on, from what my friends and such seen, I think it's like a 7.2 out of 10, to be honest. It just really bores me. That's not Destiny 2 beta. Okay, maybe. But everybody's like going bonkers over Destiny 2 being awesome and amazing. Just give it a while. People are probably going to eventually realize it wasn't worth their money. But I don't want the same thing to happen with my friends, where my friends will argue to death this and give dumb reasons. I had something happen and I didn't want to say anything because everything I guess my friends think I'm going to say is going to come across rude, and I don't want to come across that to you guys either. That's why I'm not going to really explain much more in depth. I'm going to let these people explain. Just think of their videos as me talking, but without a lot of the rudeness. Maybe some apologizing if I was, and giving out the fact that, yes, it's your opinion. If you like that kind of game, sure, play it, buy it. But for me, I'm not, and it turns me off from a game like that. With less of the yelling and such. I just don't feel interested in Destiny 2 at all. Like, I'm not going to buy Battlefront 2 either. I'm just so disinterested in that. I think I'm never going to buy a Battlefield or COD game ever again. Probably not going to buy if there's another Titanfall. I'm kind of I actually got really bored of Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, COD Infinite Warfare, and even the remaster of Modern Warfare. That I was like, I think I'm done with these games. I want to play something I can actually get into and have fun and take me in. And I'm not saying Destiny 2 isn't like that, but Destiny 2 to me, I don't want it to take over my life in the same way. So I'm going to just, for me, I'm saying I'm staying away from that entirely. Because it can also kind of change the way you look at the game too. Like, people will defend the crud out of it. And what I was saying with my friend argued that, the stupid, he wouldn't even watch the video because it's not a negative video, and I said the guy kept in mind that he loves these Halo games. He even loved the most that he bashed on a little bit more than the others. But I have to agree, it's some pretty darn good points. Is the countdown timer when you go outside the map, and it's really annoying. My friend, and I'm sorry that I'm saying this, argued the dumbest thing, and I'm like, how do you not see the flaws to what you just said? I can't even say them. There's so many circling in my head. It's just like crowding my head. I can't even come out with them. He said that it immerses you and makes the world feel bigger, and I'm like, excuse me? The countdown timer makes the world... Okay, if you were going to go for a camping trip and you wanted to explore the woods, and all of a sudden a countdown timer or something saying you were shot on your screen even though you actually weren't pops up, and you just died because you went too far out, which is another thing. Sometimes the game, if you go too far out, it'll just kill you before the countdown timer is even done. So it still doesn't feel that big. And boundary breaking doesn't count. It really doesn't, because you can't always do that with every game, especially like the game system versions too. It's not as easy to pull off. But that is such a dumb thing. How is that immersive? Really? Answer me that. How does that immerse you? Sorry that I have all these boring things, but right now. But yeah, I don't see much reason to get into Destiny anymore. Like, I was so disinterested in Destiny 1 that I didn't even finish it. I was so bored. And I hated the grind that it was. There will be more Neo videos, by the way, so expect that. Yeah, I just think it's a deceiving kind of game. It's not like Ride to Hell where you look at it and you're like, that looks obviously bad. It's more disappointing. Like, are you going to waste your money? And by the time you do, you try to justify your waste of money by saying it's a great, fantastic game. I'll argue to death for it, when in the reality of it, the game really isn't that great. And people try to justify their opinion and make it worthwhile, make it worth their money, even though it really wasn't. So I don't think Destiny's worth $60. maybe when it gets close to like 20 bucks or whatever, or lower, whatever price you guys probably think it is. But I'm not on the hype train for it. Destiny, and though my friend didn't have that same effect when it came to the first Destiny that I did, just note that it's still a piece of trash. It may not be the worst piece of trash, but it's a disappointing game, and sometimes disappointing games are worse than worst games. They may not get a lower rating, but man, do they feel bad. They look good, they feel good, but something else about them entirely just ruins the core of that game. I really don't know what else to add, and I'm sorry that I have like boring backgrounds and such. But yeah, Destiny 2 just doesn't have me interested. I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to let these videos be something. My friend didn't even bother to look at that video, so hopefully he'll take in these videos. Keep in mind that don't take these videos seriously. Once again, like I said, with opinion, you can still have the same opinion, but do ask yourself the questions that are in these videos. That you would ask yourself these questions later, and then answer my questions as well. Once you're done with the story, first off, is the story the only thing that they needed to fix in Destiny? Second off, is graphics something you should focus on over gameplay? And like the core, the diversity and such, which I don't feel Destiny 2 has a whole lot to. How truly awesome is the world, or does it feel like there's a bunch of like more grindfest stuff in the same old horde mode stuff and such? That's a little more specific, but yeah, something along those lines. Second, how is the core of the game once you have played it, and how is like Crucible and such after playing a couple of rounds, and how it works? And should games like this be, should people promote these kind of games and hype them up the way they have with the trailers they've gotten, which try to make them out as the best game ever when they really legitimately aren't? And does Destiny 2 truly do anything new or amazing from other games, because it does literally look like another shooter in an MMORPG setup, sort of, if you can call it that. So does it truly do anything new or inspiring or amazing? Because I think this game would definitely hook me, and I'd definitely be addicted to it, but I'm being wise to the point that I don't want to, that I'm not going to touch it at all. Because I don't want that addictive charm to me, because it'll be that game to me where it's like, wow, I'm having fun playing this, but I feel so empty inside because I can't get away from this game. It truly doesn't live up to what I just wasted money out of my wallet to. And I'll look happy while playing it, but really feel inside that I'm wasting my time and life with this. It's just a really messy situation. So, not buying Destiny 2, watch those videos, don't take them seriously. And I feel like the last thing I have to say, and I know I'm like promoting other YouTubers, by the way, one of the reasons I don't have much going on here, I'll get something up for you guys. Maybe I'll check like what's on my channel right now. If anybody's like messaged me or anything. Look forward to my It review. I'm sorry, friend, if things came across rude. You know who you are.
Hey guys, what's up? Kevin here, and I'm playing Watch Dogs. We're gonna be just doing
gosh. I forgot Kevin. Call me Kevin. It's a good channel. Sorry about that, by the way. I do have 2 messages. But, yeah, I'm not interested in Destiny 2. I really am not. And people really try to argue and defend and justify these kind of games, but they're bad business practices. As a matter of fact, Disney's become such like a negatively effective game on my life. And now Destiny 2 feels like it's trying to inch into that territory. And I almost hate it more than Evil Within. That's how bad it's become in my eyes. That I'm seeing people around me be devoured by it, and it's just so sad. I even told my friend recently that I'm thinking about getting Destiny Fit 2. I might get it. And I said I might, and he took it as a definitely. And he was kind of subtly rude about it in a way, even though he probably didn't think it came across that way. He was. I just ignored it like I do other things, because I don't want to come across rude. So I'm making this video. Hopefully he might see it. He'll know who he is when he does. But just know I am extremely mad at Destiny 2, and I think if I did have more of a say, I probably would sound more like some of those angry ranting videos. And I'd never want to actually come across that way, even though my very first rant was a Surge. I was very mad at that game. I did slightly enjoy my experience more towards the end, but I still had the overall 6 out of 10 opinion about it. It was a disappointing game. I feel like no game nowadays, unless it looks like Ride to Hell, is going to be below a 6 or a 5 out of 10, unless it's something like The Order 1886, which still looks good, but doesn't have much to it, and you have to think about the overall starting price of the game as well as the aftermath of stuff, like once you're done with the story and such, is their legit replay value. So I'm disappointed, sad, and everything. Let's see what my pals have been saying here. It's Silent Death. He's always sending a nice message. Thanks very much, my friend. Thank you. Oh yeah, that was to the replies I gave. He's really nice. Go subscribe to his channel. He does do a lot of Uncharted stuff, but he does have some different things to the side. He was doing Little Big Planet and a couple other games recently. And there's Epi Gaming, definitely him. Trio plays, and a bunch of these other GY, Cheetos Monster, so on. And I'll try to get back to pinning these guys. I can only pin 3 people on the end of the video, and some videos too at the end, so it's kind of limited, so I can't always get everybody up. But remember that spelling there to these names. Don't worry about the commented part and such, because that's just the commented what they did. But yeah, I'll have more videos up. This was a video just saying I'm not buying Destiny 2, and that it makes you appreciate games like Skyrim and Fallout more because they have more to their environment, more diversity, and interesting things. I'm going to have to change you, and you don't match this background in Legend of Zelda. I have this up because Legend of Zelda, so far, is my favorite game this year. I feel like there are a couple other games battling with me, but so far it is one of my favorites. Right now, I think Destiny is just a disappointing game. Another disappointment. So, I don't know what else to say. I'll leave those videos to it. Because I can't really go in depth, because I'll forget everything I wanted to say about it and just sound like I'm babbling for the most part, which you probably already think I am. Which I think I am, but I'm just going to let those videos speak for themselves, and I'm going to even it out by giving you 2 positive videos and believable, and 2 videos that have titles that look negative, but I don't think they're supposed to come across entirely negative. Matter of fact, I feel like they're positive in the way that they're trying to help you protect your money, how you use your money. And a lot of the people backing up Destiny are very rude, the community, and it's just really ridiculous. The kind of arguments they have to try to satisfy their own hunger for a game like that is just sad. Now, expect soon, hopefully, read-alongs on this book again, as well as more. Also, I do want to say, don't let my read-alongs have the same effect as Angry Joe's reviews, because if I swear they become popular, and then I'm late like I am now with these kind of read-alongs, I don't want the kind of negativity or rudeness to come across that those had. So, yeah. Think of this as sort of a review. Also, before I leave, good example, Pro Jared review on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I feel is similar to my feelings on Destiny 2 in a way. He says, like, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 doesn't do a whole lot new, it's slightly refined here and there, but if you don't own Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1, just buy 2. And he still gave it like a 5 out of 10, or whatever. It just feels like an expansion, and I feel like that's the same with Destiny 2. It just feels like the 5th expansion, or Destiny 1.5, which are all other videos, by the way. Dishonored Wolf has a video called Destiny, the 5th expansion. That might actually be a negative video, but you can check it out if you want. And then one that's more legitimate and doesn't come across rude or anything is the one that's like titled Destiny 1.5. And the guy's legit about it, and he's very nice. So I definitely recommend those. I don't know what to say, because I feel like if I had to argue anything, I wouldn't have everything prepared for what I want to say about it, as well as I'd suck at it in general. I'm sorry this video is, like, there's not much to my video here. I'm just sort of fooling around. Woo! But I will try. I want to redo my reviews, by the way, too, and make them much better edited and everything. I feel like my first 2 reviews were trash of Ukulele, and I don't know what the name of the series. Give me some names that maybe I could change them later, but for right now I'm going to call them the late reviews, and then title the game and review, of course. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to those other channels I talked about and such. I watch some of my videos, even if they come out like trash. I've been in a very difficult situation in time where my microphone is absolute trash. This one I'm using right now. I have another one too, and I've had many other problems that hinder my progress of editing, fixing a lot of my videos and such, and it's been very difficult and annoying. And of course there's like life problems too, so I'm very much sorry. My friend, by the way, is a very helpful friend. He helped me with my computer and such, and he's a very nice person. I just sometimes think he lets some of these games get to his head a little bit. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody. No matter how hard they try to think that they are. But yeah, some people let that kind of stuff go over their head, and I don't want this kind of stuff to be the future of gaming when we're promoting games like this, the price that they're at, and the fact that they promote stuff like the crazy collector's editions and the many versions of them, as well as stuff like microtransactions. To defend that kind of stuff is almost like defending something as dumb as microtransactions. So hopefully, I also hate the Creation Club. I just want to throw that out there. I think that's dumb. That was random, but anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. It does support the channel if you like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. I'll make sure to come out with much better and awesome stuff. And look forward to my It review. And I do want to read the book at some point if I ever get around to it. It's going to be a grisly book, so do expect it to be darker than the new rated R movie, so yeah. I might not say any of the swears in it and such, though. And I might skip, like, there's a part in the book I don't like. And you probably know what it is if you've read the book. But yeah, you might not notice much if you've never read the book if I skip that part. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. And, yeah. Next Let's Play. See ya.